All right, my next question comes from SS50S. This question is, what double bass adapter do you prefer? How many double bass adapters are there and what are their brand names? Honestly, I have never used a double bass adapter at this point. The only double bass adapter that I do know of right now is the Twin Rocker that is made by Ceridian Technologies, who makes the Omega pedal. And I do also know that Rode makes a double bass coupler. Those are the only two. I am working on trying to get my hands on the double bass coupler, and here I'm probably going to go ahead and end up ordering a Twin Rocker just so that I can put them through the test and give you guys more of an answer to that. But I haven't really tried them. The best one that I'm hearing so far has been the Twin Rocker. I think the double bass coupler from Rode is not that old, so it hasn't been, made it through its circles yet. But the Twin Rocker has gotten excellent reviews, so that's the only one that I do know of. All right. Thank you for your question, SS50S. My next question comes from Unholy Crusade 1337, which he says, "Can he have a cheeseburger?" Yeah, man. Any local McDonald's, Burger King, Carl's Jr. If you got one, cheeseburger for you, my friend. All right, next question. Casrunner says, "What gave you the idea to start doing game reviews? Sustained that nobody was giving a full and honest opinion, so you figured you would give it a shot. And when you were younger, did you ever think you would grow up to be so involved in video games and game reviews?" Let's break this down, because he has several questions here. First of all, what gave you the idea to start doing game reviews? As I said earlier, I just wrote a comparison review and it took off from there. People asked me to keep doing it, so I did, and so here it is. Did I think that nobody was giving a full and honest opinion, so I figured I would give it a shot? You know what? To a degree, I didn't think a lot of these people like IGN and those guys was giving full honest reviews. There's games out there and peripherals that should get a 10, whatever, the highest rating on the market, and they give a 6, a 5, a 7. Game Informer is also bad for this too. So I think, yeah, maybe I wanted to give a little bit of an unbiased opinion from somebody who isn't getting paid by big corporations to come up and say that Microsoft can slap me some cash and say, "Can you give my game a 10 and knock, Activision's game down to a 5? So maybe to a degree I did think that. And I do think that my opinions my reviews is my opinions, but I also think that they're very honest and unbiased from somebody who's spending money just like you. All right, the other one was, when I was younger, did I ever think that I would grow up to be so involved in video games and game reviews? Game reviews, no. Video games, I knew I would be a gamer for life. I started playing video games when I was about 2 or 3. I can tell you, man, back in the day, Pong was the stuff. I'm probably dating myself, but Pong was the stuff. In television, all you people out there that's 28, 29, 30, you know in television, you know what I'm talking about. And television was the stuff. Anything you can sit down and just have a paddle and just toss a white ball back and forth the screen got me hooked. Pac-Man was my other biggest one. But yes, I did know that I would be involved in the video game industry somehow, somewhere, and I knew I would be a gamer all my life. All right. So, Casrunner, thank you for your questions, man. All right. Also, next question I got is from Awesome Sauce 714. He says, "What inspired you to be a drummer, and what kind of music do you play? And do you think that it's too late for someone at age 15 to start playing and start a band?" First of all, what inspired me to be a drummer? Here's something I never told any of you guys. A few people know, but I'm gonna tell you. I am what they call a music prodigy or a God-gifted musician. I've never had a lesson in my life. I used to teach drums, but I've never had a lesson in my life. When I was a young kid, I just picked up some sticks and I was able to play. My influence for that, though, if he's watching, I love him to death, is my Uncle Bubby. His real name, Eugene Napoleon. You'll learn more about him in my Real Talk edition. If you heard his name and think you know him, you do. He used to be the best back in Western Virginia. Also, he's the #1 sports agent in the world. But he was my influence. He had a drum set in his house when he was younger and I was a little kid, and he used to let me beat on that thing until I was tired. So he was my influence and the reason why I still play drums today. The kind of music that I play is I am an R&B jazz drummer. I'm also a contemporary Christian drummer, and I can play some rock. This is why a lot of songs in rock bands are like, "Why can't you ever see this?" Man, there's drummers of every different genre. I'm not a speed metal drummer. I play some stuff like this in rock band, but would I ever see some of that stuff? Probably not. There's a lot of different techniques that's used and a lot of different, abilities you have to have. If you want to play speed metal or thrash metal, man, you gotta have the ability to move your feet like mad. So, kind of music I play: R&B, contemporary Christian, jazz, and some rock, all right? And at age 15, man, no, you are not too old to start a band. If this is what you want to do this. You can start right now. Go out and get some lessons. There's people that start at 16, 17, 18, and they pick up on it so fast they got a band right now. The number one thing that I'm concerned about, and I'm really upset about, is the removal of music in school. When I was in school, music was everything to me, and I hope that it would be for younger generations like yourself. So no, man, if you want to start a band, go start a band. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. Go get your lessons on, and I hope to maybe send me a demo sometime. I'll be more than happy to hear it. All right, so thank you, Awesome Sauce. Good questions, good questions. XFID3LX, XFID3LX, his question is, how did you get your daughter's name? I have to answer this one because this is very funny and it's true. And I'll tell you this, you may not believe me, but I'm telling you it's true. My wife was really hooked on having my daughter be named something what I felt was an old sounding name, like Rose or Grace, something to me that if you say, hey, Grace, you're looking for a 50-year-old woman, in my opinion. The only thing that we did agree on was that my daughter would have my mother-in-law's first name for middle name, which was Francis. So we had the middle name out the way. So now we had to get a first name that sounded at least halfway decent with Francis and her last name, McClam. So my wife wanted Grace and Rose, and I think she picked up Serenity and some other stuff. And I was like, no, no, no. So finally I said, okay, tell you what you do. You write down your 10 top names. I'm gonna write down my 10 top names. We're gonna rip them up and put them all in this hat. And whatever name we pull will be our daughter's name. So that's what we did. And we pulled the name Madison out of the hat, which was one that I picked. No, it wasn't fixed. It just happened that way. She was sitting right there. And that's how my daughter got her name. Her name came out of a hat. To this day in her baby book, this story is written down, and the slip of paper that has my handwriting on it with her name is sitting on that. All right. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm losing daylight here. I'm going to go to the last question, which is my number one question and the winner of the 1,600 Microsoft points. I want you guys to know this first and foremost off the bat. Picking a number one question was very hard. And the reason why this question got picked as the number one was because it does have some personal sides for me. And I'll explain that as I answer this question. So the winner in question is from Orange County Drums 44. And the question is this. Serious question here, Cena. Do you think that marijuana should be legalized? How should it be regulated? And why or why not? Hope this isn't under the no answer category. Do I think that marijuana should be legalized? Yeah, for legal purposes such as medication. I say this because I have a godmother right now whose literal prescription, I forget what condition she has, but she has a colostomy bag in, and she's had it in for the last 15 years, and her medication prescription is 1 marijuana cigarette or joint a day and a 40-ounce can of beer. I kid you not. She has a card that she carries that if she got pulled over by the police at the time in which she has to smoke this and she's smelling the car, she can't be arrested. It should be regulated that only people that has any kind of legitimate medical prescription, you need to go, they need to find some way out to make it legitimate so that the pharmacists know, yes, if it's for medical purposes, if it's gonna save somebody's life, it should be legalized. My only issue with that is I think some people's gonna run with this, like I said, and try to turn this into we can smoke weed for free. I am an advocate against drug use. I always will be. But if it's gonna save somebody's life, legalize it. Regulate it. You know how to regulate it. You regulate prostitution in Vegas. It can't be that hard to regulate something that can save somebody's life. It's an herb that never was in the beginning meant to be a drug until man got a hold of it himself. All right. So that's my answer on that. Orange County Drums 44. Thanks for your question. Congratulations on winning 1,600 points. That's it for the first Q&A. I hope you guys liked it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. So we're out of here. Until next time, this is your boy Cena saying peace, love, keep rocking out. We're going to see you the next Q&A.